Okie dokie, we're back. I'm just refreshing so I can see the video. Whew, that was a busy time. And then, of course, grandchildren are here, so I got to see. Well, the older grandchild's here, I don't know. Okay, what is going on? Come on, refresh. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys are coming back to join me. I'm having so much fun today. It's fun, 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 fun. Okay, there's session 3. Going to do this. Going to expand it so I can... Coming back to join me. Whoops. I'm having so much fun. Shut off my voice. You don't need to hear me. Okay, I'm doing the comments. Now, I know... some of you have messaged me and some of you have emailed me, and I did not have a chance to answer most of you. Yes, Valerie, it's been way too long. So I have the messages and I have the emails, and I will respond as soon as I can. But I needed to clean up so that I could go forward. And then I needed to take 45 seconds and give the oldest grandchild a hug. Because we're lucky and they're in our bubble, so we get to visit back and forth. Can't tell you how blessed I feel to have that happen. Okay, so new chocolate. These are mini Rolos. Ooh, caramel or caramel? I don't know. I say caramel. Grandson says caramel. And tea. I have tea. So I'm taking a drink. Because I did not have time to do that. And we're still waiting for people to pop on. So, what did you think of Elizabeth's video? Did you get a chance to watch some of it? All of it? None of it? It'll be there when we're done. She has some good tips in that video. Okay, last chance. Oh, good. Tea. Last chance to grab a chocolate. Mini Rolo. Chocolate and caramel. And they're off. Okay, let's put them over there. I have my snack because I can't have chocolate because it gives me a migraine. So I have a vanilla peanut butter bar. So, the draw board. Okay, the draw board. So this was the last draw board. It was the beautiful autumn bundle. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get the back of the board because I wrote it down. It was the Gilded Autumn Suite is what was in this one. So designer paper and brushed metallic cardstock and a stamp set, the ribbon combo pack, some acorn embellishments, and the 3 punches that match the stamp set. Now, this one's gone, it's retired, but I had so much fun making cards using this bundle. I could tease you all I want, because it's my party. Okay, so I drew for that on January the 8th because my draw board was full. Filled all the squares up. And the draw board is going to, that whole Gilded Autumn Suite is going to, drum roll please, Donna Powell. Yeehaw, Donna. So your Gilded Autumn Suite is here waiting for you whenever you want to come and pick it up. I don't know whether she came back. I know she was here. So I will get in touch with Donna. So the new one. Where did I put it? Aha! There it is. Okay, the new draw board is the Playing with Patterns Suite. And this is in the annual catalog on pages 100 to 102. So you get, in this package, I haven't wrapped it up yet so we can show you everything. This package, you get the Playing with Patterns ribbon combo pack. And you get the 6x6 Playing with Patterns designer paper, 40 sheets, 6x6. And the Playing with Patterns resin dots. Aren't these fun? I just used these ones the other day on a card that I made. I don't remember what card it was. The Pattern Play stamp set. Great backgrounds. And cue the confetti. And there we are, confetti. And the Playful Alphabet dies. Now these are those little, these are the little letters dies. I'll just take them out of here. So there's the dies you get. That's the alphabet. So they're, how big are they? Let's measure them. They are 3/4 of an inch high. And, okay, gotta put them away because whoever's getting this is going to want them to look like they're new. Come on. There we are. That in there. And put them in here. So do you know when you're trying to put things in plastic bags that have the adhesive on the lip, not the ones that have the adhesive here, but on the lip, if you take it, put it upside down and fold it back, then it's really easy just to slip your item in there if it doesn't get caught on the lip of the package. There you go. That's how easy it is to do that. So you get the Playful Alphabet dies and the Pattern Play stamp set. And these are the mini paper pumpkin boxes. And they're the right, exactly the right size to put the note cards and envelopes in. Now, I get to pile all this stuff back up. And I'll put it back in the bag. And then we'll get it out of the way. So that's what the next draw board is. And to get on the draw board, all you need to do is place a minimum $60 order. And you're on the draw board. So for every, there we are, for every $60, you get your name in the draw board. So if it's a $120 order, you get 2. If it's $180, you get 3. Yeah, and it has to be all in one order. So you can't do $20 in one order and $45 in another order and combine them. No, it has to be all in one order. And that's before shipping and tax. Okay. So that's the draw board done. Yay, Donna Powell. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you came back. It's been a marathon day. I'm going to have another piece of my peanut butter bar. And I'm going to show you Fine Art Floral now. Okay. Fine Art Floral. Well, there we go. There's the suite. We have the embossing folder, the painted texture embossing folder. Look at the texture on that. Where's my envelope? As you can probably see it better if I do this. See the texture on that? It's a lot like the old world paper, but it's not quite as bumpy. It's a little bit flatter. And the gilded leafing, which I don't have, but you saw on Lisa's video. The ribbon, Fine Art ribbon. This is, what color is this? Doesn't tell you. Okay, well it's kind of like a crumb cakey color. And it's also got a gold thread running through it. Hello, Janet Chin. I'll put you on my list for being here. Oh, ran out of room on that one. So these numbers are wrong on here, but I'll fix them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, I have a random number generator, and I'm just going to put that in the computer, and it'll choose a winner for me for all of these things. So this is the Fine Art ribbon, and it's kind of a crumb cakey color, but it's got a gold thread through it. Can you see that? And this one is ambidextrous. It's the same on both sides. And it makes really pretty bows. Of course, anything that has bling in it is pretty. So we'll just do one of the quick. This one is kind of like, it's not as smooth as the other ribbons. The gold has texture to it. So yeah, that's a really ugly bow, but you'll see a bow. I did use it. So that's the ribbon. And then there's the Golden Garden Designer Specialty Acetate. Now there's a mouthful and a half. Now this also comes with plastic. Remove plastic film before use. It's exactly the same as the Hydrangea Hill one. Okay, so this comes with 3 sheets. 1 each of 3 different designs. So there's this one, and here's a card. I think this is the card that you're going to see Shauna make at 20 minutes to 4 at 3:40. This is the swap card, and there she's used that ribbon. This is the acetate that she used, this one. Let's put this here. So there's that one. And then there's 2 that match designer paper. So this one has designer paper that matches, and these are silver on the other side, just like the other ones are. And they have a film on the silver side, and you use the, where did my tape go? You just use a piece of Scotch tape in the corner and pull back the plastic protective sheet that's on it. So there's this one, and I'll show what sheet that matches. And then this one, and I've used it already, but this also matches one of the designer papers. And it's also silver on the back. So if you didn't want to use it with the designer paper, you could use the gold side, or you could use the silver side. It's so pretty. Okay, now the designer paper. This is, what's it called? Fine Art Floral Designer Paper. And that one. I'm just trying to get 1 sheet of each out here so you can have a look. And that one. What color's that got on the back? Okay. This one. And that one. And that one. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm missing one. What am I missing? Got that one, and I got that one, and I got that one, and I think I have that one. Nope, here's the one I'm missing, and that one. So on one side, oops, let's flip this over. On one side you have floral patterns. And these are photorealistic papers. So somebody has painted this. One of the Stampin' Up! Artists has painted this in acrylics, and you can see the acrylic paint. It makes you want to touch it because you think it's going to be rough and bumpy, and it's not. It's just paper. Then they take a photograph of it, and then they put it in the designer paper. And then there's this one, and that one, and that one, and this pretty one. But on the other side, look at this. Look at these. Aren't these so pretty? They kind of got like a whitewashy thing going on. This looks just like the embossing folder. Exactly like the embossing folder. And then there's that one. And finally that. But the cool thing is, let me get out the acetate. So the acetate, not that piece, it's the other one. Hello, there we are. This one matches this. So look, you lay it over top of the designer paper. You can see the designer paper, and you lay it, and it matches it almost perfectly. It looks like you've spent a long time using gilding or embossing or something to make that gold. Isn't that pretty? And then the other one, which is hiding, come here. This one matches. Let me have a look here. I think it's, nope, not that one. Maybe it's this one. No, it's not that one. It does match one of them. Take my word for it. This one. It does. Matches, really, it does. Anyways, you'll see, I made a card out of it, so you'll see where it matches. Of course, I spent a long time trying to match this up, and then when I made the card, it matched perfectly. So who knew? There we are. There we are. Got it. Got it. Got it. So there, that matches up with that one. And you can see the gold on there. So that's really cool how they've done that. I don't think we've ever had that before. So that's the Golden Garden Designer Specialty Acetate and the Fine Art Floral Designer Paper. Oops, don't lose that little piece. The Art Gallery Bundle. And the Gilded Leafing. Yeah, I don't have that. And the ribbon I did. And the heat and stick powder. Oh, the heat and stick powder. This is what Lisa was talking about on her video, the heat and stick powder. You use it just like embossing powder with Versamark ink, and then you heat it and it goes sticky, and then you put the gold gilding on. But you can also use it for other things as well as the gilding. We used to carry this a long time ago, and this is left over from then. I haven't got any of the new stuff. So here's my cards for the Fine Art Floral Suite. Come on. Out. So here I've used that designer paper with the acetate on the over top of it. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now, I think we did these ones online, if I remember correctly, because you cut a hole out of the center. So I used that hole to make a second card, because you know you don't want to waste anything. There you go. And the dies, I'll just show you the stamp set and the dies. So there's the stamp set, and there's the dies. So you get this die that says "Just Want to Say." So that's what I used on this card. I'm thinking of you. And then you finish off the inside using the flower. Now this is, you may hear it called two-step stamping, but it's actually three-step stamping, because there's 3 different pieces for the flower, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then I used the Just Want to Say here, and this is the Art Gallery stamp set, but the background is from the Succulents bundle, and I used the blending brushes on it to add color to various areas of it. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. And the final one I'll show you it uses some of the Hydrangea Hill acetate, and then I stamped this image in green and die cut it out, and then I stamped it again in Highland Heather and added some gorgeous grape accents on the top, and there's those Playful Patterns embellishments that I used, and that's the come on, ribbon from the Hydrangea Hill, I believe. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so the stamp set has 3 pieces to the flowers. So there's this one that gives you a really light background color. So you'll see that there in blushing petal pink. And then the next layer is this one, and that's the Flirty Flamingo. And then there's this little teeny tiny one here that goes right in the center to add a depth to the center, and I did that one in Poppy Parade. Now I pulled all those colors right out of the designer paper. That was not a happy accident. That was actually planned. So you'll see a lot of demonstrators right now are only doing the 2 steps. They're not using this one. And when Lisa did hers, she used this one for, I believe, or maybe it was another video. They're using this one to add the gold leafing on. I love the bundle. It's really cool. And then it has 2 dies to make sentiment pieces as well. So that's what I've used here, is one of the dies. And because it's got good ripples on it, you can make it as long as you want or as short as you want just by moving it and cutting it off, running it through the die cutting machine again. So that's the Fine Art Floral Suite. And at 3:40, Shauna's video is going to be queued up, and she's going to walk you through making a card using that bundle. Okay, so the next one I want to show you is Many Messages. Test is emailed to you. Okay. Thank you. I did get some of them. Okay. Messages. Many Messages bundle. This, oops, hang on. This stamp set is a stamp. It's a huge stamp. It's 1 stamp. Now, you can use your markers and just color one specific sentiment and then die cut it out. Just put a piece of paper. So you take your marker, pretend this is a marker. You take your marker and color it. Then you take your piece of cardstock, put it over the top and rub your finger on without moving it, and you can do it that way. That's how you can get one at a time. You can stamp them all at the same time like I did here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy another one because I have to demonstrate it as a full stamp. But I'm going to order another one, and I'm going to cut this all up so that I have all of these separate images, sentiment images to use by themselves. So that's my great idea one day when I get around to it. The die is 1 big die as well. Now, I've used this a lot, so you guys have probably seen it. So there's the die, and it fits perfectly right over top of the stamp. Like, I didn't do anything. I never, if the big stamps like this, sometimes it pays to use your Stamparatus because it's a lot easier because they're quite big and they're hard to handle. But I just used my big block and stamped that, and I didn't have any problems with it. It fits on there perfectly. Even the hearts and the stars line up. So this one, you don't have to stamp the whole thing at once either. You can put it on your piece, on your magnetic platform or in your die cutting machine, and just slide a piece of, stamp your image, Then just slide it underneath and run it through your machine, and it will cut out just the piece that you want. But every once in a while, I just go in and die cut the whole thing at once. And then I keep them in a container. So when I want a little tiny sentiment to put onto a card, I've got them already done. So that just sits there. It doesn't move. It sits there right on my table the whole time. So that's the Many Messages bundle. One stamp and one die. But so versatile. This is like the hippo dies that I fought so hard not to get. And then I get them and I use them probably 3 or 4 times a week. Yes, Valerie, stamp the whole thing in different colors and cut them out and keep them in a container. Absolutely. It's perfect for that. That would take organization and time that is just not in my world. So there we go. That's the Many Messages bundle. And the last one I want to share with you before my next break is the succulents. So there, oops, I lost my envelope. There we go. There's the succulents, page 39. These are so much fun. Oh, me too, Janet. That's why I'm going to order 2 of them. You can leave it whole. Absolutely, you can leave it whole. In my situation, in a class environment, if we ever get to be in person again, it would be a lot easier just to have the one stamp instead, like for the little stamp, instead of having to stamp the big one and using the marker and the whole thing. Yeah. So I'm also pivoting for my classes. I know I've mentioned that a little bit. My sand and sea class that I had offered, I pivoted and I made it all virtual, and it's going to be a lot easier for people to partake in. And then for club, I'm going to start offering porch stamping. So we have club on Wednesday, and those of you that want, of course, you haven't got the art. I use that that one we just talked about. This one. I use the Fine Art Floral stamp set on one of the cards. But of course you guys don't have it yet. So if anybody from club wants to stamp the flowers for that one card, please let me know and I will set it up. We'll have it in the entrance hall on the Stamparatus, and you just come and stamp, and off you go. Okay. Succulents bundle. Here we go. Aren't those pretty? Here's that paper that we were just talking about. The Fine Art Floral paper. You don't have to use the Fine Art Floral side. You know, the really flowery, lots of color side. I used the back side, and then I ran it through the painted texture embossing folder to give it even more texture on the paper that already has texture. Now this one I did do online. We did I think it was a Friday night one where we created this card together and did some coloring with Stampin' Blends and used the die cuts and stuff. So here's the dies. See the dies down here? So this is the background one that I used on, hang on, it's coming, this card. So there's that's the background die that I used for that. And then these dies match up. There's a couple of 3 sentiment dies, and then 4. There's that one too. And then there's this one down here that looks like aloe vera. And this hangy thing, because there's lots of succulent pots have those hangy down beady things. So of course I didn't want mine to be hanging down, so I stuck them straight up just for some contrast and added Wink Stella here and there. Isn't that pretty? And there's one of those sentiments that I cut out of the many messages. Oh no, sorry, that's this one. Sorry. Back up the bus. Added some rhinestones, and there we are. There's the card. And then the other one I did, this one I did not do online, this one you haven't seen yet, uses the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder, the pastel pearls, there's that aloe vera die cut, and I embossed this in white embossing powder on shimmery white cardstock, and then played with watercoloring. Was it watercoloring? No, blending brushes. I used the blending brushes on this. And I just kind of put green here and there, and then added, okay, mint macaron and just jade. And then I added blushing bride over top of it to fill in the other parts. I really like how that turned out. And I did the pot in gray granite. And this is just jade. And because it's shimmery white cardstock, there's a shimmer to it. Now, I'm sorry, don't have that in frame for you. Getting a little carried away. So there we go. And the shimmer on that is incredible because it's the shimmery white cardstock. And I didn't have to do anything because it's there. And there's the inside. Isn't that pretty? Succulents. Love succulents. Oh, having an avalanche. So, is there any questions about any of this stuff? Yeah, leaving it whole works, Janet. Absolutely does work. Okay, time for a snack. And a drink of tea. No questions? Send me a message, send me an email if you've got questions. This session isn't quite as long, and the video is going to queue up in about 9 minutes. Shauna is doing a card with Fine Art Floral, and I believe this is the one. I just can't remember because I watched it a couple of weeks ago. But I do have, here's another Fine Art Floral one. This was another swap card I received from Diane Hutchinson. And she did the 3-step stamping on that. Shauna did the 2-step stamping because, of course, this is the small image. It's not the big one, and you just use the center on that. This uses that paper, the floral paper. So it's pretty cool. All right. If there is no questions, I think I will sign off. I can't think. Oh, paper share. Though the first round of paper shares is sold out, but I'm taking names for the second one. And you can get 69 pieces of 12 by 6 cardstock, or 6 by 6 because the Dandy Garden is 6 by 6. 69 pieces for $70 plus postage if required. Now, if you guys over there in Powell River want to take part in this, I can probably fit 3 or 4 shares into one box, one of those prepaid shipping boxes that are just under $19. So if we divided that by 3, you'd pay like just over $6 for shipping. And you get all of the papers that I showed you, as well as, like, you get this pearlescent paper, which I haven't showed you yet. That's tonight at 7 o'clock. Mercury glass acetate, the specialty garden acetate. And I'm going to, when I cut this, I'm going to cut the 2 that match. Oh dear, I forgot to order. Uh-oh. Okay, so when I cut it, I'm going to cut it so that the acetate matches the designer paper. I just realized I probably didn't order enough of those. Okay. And all of the regular designer papers as well. Now the first one, January 11th, is gone, but that's tomorrow. I'll leave it till the 15th for the second round. If anybody is interested in a whole bunch of designer paper. And then I'm throwing in some samples of the sale-a-bration papers as well, which you haven't seen yet, but you will in the next session. So at 4 o'clock, I'm going to do a couple of things and then go through the items in the sale-a-bration bundle. And don't forget, if you're watching and you haven't already commented, so I know you're here, comment, put a comment in so I know you're watching and I can put you in the draw for showing up. The treasure hunt has been pinned to the top of this Facebook page, so you should be able to find it. If you can't find the treasure hunt to do it, send me a message and I will email it to you. And make sure you get into the draw for placing an order as well. You've got until noon tomorrow to send me your minimum $60 order. And I will put you in the draw for a $20 product credit. Now, if your order is over $200 or under $200, please use the Hostess code, because that's what allows me to have all of the draw board giveaways that I do. And we're doing like one a month these days. So that helps get that. And every once in a while, I'll send out a message that I have a 50% off item to give away. So that might happen if we get enough orders today. You never know. I might have a 50% off item to give to somebody. So stay tuned tonight for that. If your order is over $200, don't use my host code, because you qualify for Hostess Rewards yourself. And with a minimum $200 order, you get a minimum of $20. So it's 10% and then it goes up from there, depending on how much your order is. And don't forget that you can, once you hit the $200 order, you can order the Sweet Sampler stamp set that's available only to hostesses. So here you can find the Hostess Rewards on page 88 at the back of the catalog. So in $200 you get 10%. When you hit $375 you get 12. And during sale-a-bration you get a special stamp set, and I'll talk about that at 4 o'clock. Then when it's $550 you get 14% and a 50% off item. And $725 or more, you get 16%. Of course, Valerie. Send me your order. I'm happy to take it anytime. No later than noon tomorrow, though. That's when the cutoff is for the catalog launch party orders. Okay, so you've got 3 minutes to hit the washroom, and Shauna's video will come up on how to make a fine art floral card. She's going to show you the two-step stamping with that stamp set. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will be back at 4 o'clock for the last session before dinner, and I'll show you the sale-a-bration stuff as well as a special chicken promotion that's coming up in February. If you guys remember the Hey Chick stamp set from a few years ago, you're going to want to see this, because in here is that birthday chicken stamp set. Yep, it's in here somewhere. It says, hey, oh there, look at that, I missed it by one page. Look, hey birthday chick. Do you remember this dude was in Hey Chick? So stay tuned at 4 o'clock for a special announcement about a promotion for the Hey Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in 20 minutes for session number 4 at 4 o'clock. Stamp and smiles, and bye for now.